What's up, guys? Stevie Scotch and Things. Hey, we're going to do Makers I Enjoy Part 5, Grimsmo knives. um, Grimsmo was one of those brands when I first started watching videos on knives. Like, I was in my budget realm, my entry-level knife world, and it was Grimsmo and Strider and Chris Reeve that I kind of actually started to know about. Those were like the first three like bigger names that I had kind of found out just by watching videos on. And that's when, I was living in my budget world, my $50 knife world, and didn't really know there was a whole nother world out there. And it was one of those knives that like I kind of aspired to and didn't think I'd really ever own. So this was my first Norsemen, number 4710. Look at that, I even know the number. I've carried this one a bunch, guys. It's marked up, and this, if I've got one, my go-to one, it's this one. I bought this one shortly after I bought my company, just to commemorate buying that company, because this was made a day after I took over, and then I picked this one up last spring sometime. I got this one because it had mine and my wife's anniversary date, and then this Rask has a born on date that shares a birthday with my triplets. So, and this is my second Rask. Does that make sense? I had my first one. I wish I would have kept that one. That was a pretty cool spec. And then I had another second one that you'd seen. And I would like to have two, but I was like, if I'm going to have two Rasks or any Grimsmos from now on, I want it to be a special date, if that makes sense. And I've got two of their Saga pens. I picked this one up. This was I've had this one over a year, and I got this one this last spring also. This is in my pocket all the time. This one stays in my work bag. So I've always got one. I carry my Rask. I've mentioned this before too. I always carry my Rask in a slip, because when I carry a Rask, I carry it as like a third knife or whatever. So there's other stuff bound. I've got a knife in each pocket, and then keys and phone and whatever. So there's no need to purposely mess this knife up by letting it bang against stuff. I still use it and I still cut with it, but there's no need of letting it just kind of bounce around in the pocket and get dinged up. What I like about, like, I remember the first video I saw this thing and was like, what a peculiar looking knife. Love it or hate it. I know a lot of people don't like the blade design. I absolutely love the way it looks. I love the stepped CNC milling for the hollow grind. I love the Tanto. It's super comfortable. I think some people would consider this a large knife. It's fairly big for its size, but like as far as like big knives go, it's not super huge, and it's really thin in pocket, which I like. When I'm going to carry this knife, it's really nice and thin, and yeah, I just think it carries well. What else? The pens, even if you don't like the knives, I think people that have had a Saga pen probably all agree it's one of the greatest pens ever made. And I think that's what Grimsmo is all about, right? He literally makes every part on this knife except for the bearings. He makes the bearing cages, he makes the screws, puts if I can get to focus, makes all the hardware. They're super easy. He includes the tool and some oil. It's literally pivot and 2 body screws, and these things are apart. So they're really easy to maintain. He pretty much sticks with RWL 34, which I think people kind of complain about in a knife of this price range. And for me, I've used RWL 34 or CPM 154, which they're pretty much the same thing, at work, and I think it's a great steel. It holds an edge really well, at least for me, and they sharpen up easy because my sharpening skills aren't the greatest. So I find that it sharpens back up easy. Another thing is price. I think people kind of bag on, because I think these knives started out back in the day at like $650, and now they're up to, they just did a price increase where these are just over $1,000 now, and they're probably in that price range too. And I think people are upset with that, but these are pretty close to I mean, these are a production knife, custom, high-end production, whatever you want to call it. But they're priced with all those other knives in that kind of category. The fit and finish is there, the quality is there, the craftsmanship, the action is, if you're looking for an action knife, I mean, these are just, on all of them, phenomenal knives. I do notice, like, carrying that in that slip, this one needs to be cleaned more often. The little fuzzies get in there, and we'll slow that down sometimes. They're tunable to how you like them. What else can I say? People kind of get on them for, this is all they make, right? This is what they make. This is what you get with Grimsmo. But I mean, I think he's on his like 5th or 6th iteration of just the box that these things come in. A presentation box. Because John's that way. He's like a perfectionist. So I'm going to say he's a machinist who makes knives instead of a knife maker. Yeah, I don't think that's a knock. He chases perfection. You would call him, he's bound by making his product the best product, the best version of this knife can be. When they first started making these, I believe they quit making them for a year or two because he just wasn't happy with them. And he's constantly making updates to the Norsemen, to where I think the over travel disc is there, and I think in the newer versions it's a combination. God, I don't know why that won't focus. Combination like over travel and lock interface. So they're built really well. And you can knock him all you want, but at the end of the day, this is his knife that he's deciding to make for us. And I'm completely happy that he keeps wanting to tweak them and make all these small adjustments to them. I've heard rumors in the groups that there's supposedly maybe a mini version of this coming out someday. That could be true, that could be false, who knows. I think he's kind of happy where he is right now, just tweaking what he has. Would it be cool to see a new knife from him someday? Oh, absolutely. And I would totally go for it. But like we talked about price earlier, if the price tag, the entry-level price tag sounds high to you, look on the secondary market. That's a lot like Medford. The price they sell for is expensive, but on the secondary market, I've seen these things from $500 to $750 in really good shape all day long. So actually, there was one today I just saw. One was the guy, he called it a user, but you couldn't even tell, and he had it for $550. And then he had a couple of others around the $700 mark. But I've seen them sell, really in that $500 to $700 price range for a while now. And these were going for over table for a long time. There's still guys trying to sell them for over table, but I've actually seen these sell in the last couple months. The last one I had, I got it at table price, and I've even seen them under table price. So just the things I like about them is just what I've said, just the attention to detail and the amount of time and effort he puts into making these is just really second to none in my book. I don't know what number that one is. 3740. Oh, so this is actually an earlier version. This is 3710, or no, 3740, 4710, and 5007. So very cool. This one is, I like that he numbers them. This one's 698. I like that he numbers them. I like that they have born on dates. That's just a thing. I like that. And yeah, there's not really, you can get, these are aftermarket double thumb studs, but I think for like $30, you can buy a double thumb stud kit directly from them. They're sharp as all get out. They cut great. That recurve blade is awesome. I don't really have a dislike for Grimsmo. There's not. I try and let you know what I like about the maker and things I don't like about them. Really, there's not. After having this I've had this knife for over a year now, and there's not one thing I dislike about it. Their ano, maybe that. Their colors are super vibrant when you get them, and ano wears pretty quick, and you can hit it with Windex and clean them back up. But his ano jobs they fade, I think, the fastest of any ano I've held. But I don't know what else to say. This pen's got the maple leaf. He does all these little different things. Sometimes he'll put the logo around the tip. This one's got a maple leaf. This one's got their logo, if you can see that. It's kind of shiny. Just all sorts of little differences with them. And he's constantly evolving his products. So that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think down below. I just think they're really, really well engineered and really, really, I mean, I can't stress this enough, impeccably made knives. So they're made in Canada. They do drops all the time on their site. They don't announce it. You just kind of gotta watch. And they've been dropping Rasks where you had to get this in a lotto before, but they've actually been dropping inventory on their site. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down below. Bye.